Koreans' top 5 most significant life events. Everything and anything you need to know about Korea. This is Real Korea 5. Today with our lovely guest, Jina Kim. Hello. Real Korea 1.
Korea's first life event, baby's first birthday.
We call that 돌잔치. Then why do we have a 돌잔치? Many years ago in Korea, the death rate for children were very high, unfortunately, and many of them died before the age of 1. So throwing a party, big party, and they wish the child to live long and have a healthy life for their entire life. The highlight of 돌잔치 is 돌잡이. What is 돌잡이? Can you explain that for us?
Yeah, traditionally we lay out objects like thread, books, or pencil or brush, or money, or even rice.
Oh, even rice.
Whichever item the baby picks first predicts what they will be when they grow up.
So Jina, time for us for a pop quiz. Are you ready for that?
Yes,
let's go.
Baby picks thread as the first pick.
Okay.
Which of the 3 does the thread mean?
Number 1.
Longevity.
And number 2.
Wealth.
Number 3 means
love.
What is the answer? I'm going to tell you the answer in 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. The answer is longevity. 돌잡이 items, they have changed a lot, evolved over time with the society's changes in perception of successful occupations. Real Korea 2.
The biggest exam of Korean students' lives.
Sunun in Korean, right? Which is the most important test to go to college. So in November, Sunun was held in Korea, and one of my writers, her son had to take the test. So I actually gave her some special present for her. But this is actually a traditional gift that we actually hand over to the people who are going to take the test. What is it?
That is 찹쌀떡, it's like rice cake, or 엿, which is like Korean taffy. You know, 찹쌀떡 and 엿, they are so sticky.
They're sticky.
Yeah, so it means that you are gonna stick to or get into your #1 university. But there is one food in particular that you have to avoid before this exam.
Let's go to the pop quiz right away. Yay! Okay.
What is the one food to avoid before taking the test? Number 1 is 김치국.
And number 2
is 미역국.
And number 3 is
된장국.
The answer is number 2. 미역국. Because it's very slippery. That means it makes them slip or do badly in the test.
And you know, this big exam is finally over. And what's waiting for these students?
What is that?
Many discount coupons. Almost every brand or store, they have this like Sunun promotion for these students who took Sunun.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing. The next topic, Real Korea 3.
The new chapter in life, the wedding.
Dun, 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 dun. And when you think about a modern wedding in Korea, what do? We picture some kind of a white wedding dress standing next to a groom wearing this great tux. But back in the day in Korea, we had a much more traditional ceremony, right? Can you explain that?
Yeah, of course. First, the bride and groom, they wear traditional hanbok. They put on 연지, 곤지, red dots on each cheek. And they wear a hat that is like 족두리. And the bride and groom bow to each other.
Okay, bow to each other.
It's time for food.
It's time for food. So here's our next pop quiz for our viewers.
Okay. Traditionally, this food was a dish for special occasions like wedding, feasts.
Okay.
What is this food? Okay, number 1 is alcohol. Number 2 is cake.
Cake. Oh, I love cakes, yeah. Number 3.
국수, noodles.
The answer is number 3. 국수 or noodles. 국수 made them live a long and healthy life, like the long noodles. It represents long life, right? So 국수 was a food for wedding parties. If someone asks, when are you gonna feed us some 국수? And that means, when are you going to tie the knot?
And nowadays, I don't think we are doing these kind of things.
Not
but
really.
there's only thing that we are doing still.
Yeah, what is that?
That is Pebek.
Pebek.
Pebek is a ceremony that emphasizes the importance of families. And they just bow to each other's parents.
And the next comes the most exciting part of Pebek ceremony. The parents gather and they give this pile of dates and chestnuts and throw them toward the couple, usually to the dress, the bride's dress of hanbok, right? And the couple tries to catch as many dates and chestnuts in the clothes they are holding together. And the number how many they catch represents the number of children they will have in the future. Now moving on to the next one, Real Korea 4.
환갑잔치.
환갑잔치. 환갑 means 60. It's a traditional way of celebrating the 60th birthday.
Yeah, right. In the past, a person's average life expectancy was much lower. So 환갑 meant a celebration of longevity. So the 환갑 party was celebrated with not only the family, but also neighbors. They are all together to wish for long, healthy life.
Oh, wow, they're all invited.
But now, since our average life expectancy is much longer,
so there is a saying, life begins at 60 now.
And there are people in their 60s and 70s debuting as models.
They are professional models.
Yeah, senior models like Kim Chil-doo or Choi Sun-hwa. So they are shooting with models in their 20s. And you know what? There are some senior influencers such as Millanonna and the new Grey. And they're loved by young generation. 환갑 or turning 60 is not old anymore. It's another turning point in life.
Turning point indeed. So turning to our next topic, Real Korea 5.
Remembering a life well lived. The funeral.
The last most significant event of one's life. Korean funerals usually last 2 nights and 3 days. We call that 3일장.
They usually visit the funeral on the first or second day, since the coffin is carried to the cemetery on the early morning of the third day.
And the host. There is a host for the funeral. We call that 상주, the funeral host, who is the closest relative of the deceased.
So traditionally, the 상주 wears mourning clothes made of sambae, which is one of the Korea's oldest textiles. And the reason for wearing such rough textured clothes and shoes is because if they wear something very good and nice, and it's considered that it's a sin.
To the deceased.
Yeah, right.
They have to dress appropriately, black costume, black suit, and they have to give condolence money. That's the thing. We give condolence money in a white envelope. We call that 부의금 or 조의금 in Korean, the condolences money, to the family of the deceased. Then guests light a candle that's in front of the portrait of the deceased and bow to the portrait, right? So today we looked at Koreans' top 5 most significant life events. Jina, how was it?
It was very informative time. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you to our viewers as well. Hope you learned something new and interesting about Korean culture today. See you guys later. Bye-bye.